Hi, this is Crazy Knitting Nana or Kathy. Uh, I'm here today to teach you how to do a long tail cast on. Um, if you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. So we'll get started. With the long tail cast on, it's a little more difficult to determine how much yarn you're going to need for your cast on. So I'm going to show you how I sometimes do it. I have learned that if you take and put it to your net, put the tail, this is the tail of your yarn here. Sorry, tail of your yarn is, a little bit of this, and then your working yarn is what's coming from the ball. And you'll understand that better in a few minutes. And sometimes I'll take the tail of my yarn and I'll put it to my nose and I'll stretch my arm out as far as I can. And I know that's around 40 to 50 stitches with a little bit of the tail hanging off. So you'll learn how many stitches you can cast on doing that way. But you can also figure out how many you need by taking your yarn and taking a little bit of it for your tail and placing it over. Well, actually, I did that backwards. There we go. And placing it over with the tail part there at, facing you. And just like you see it. And then just wrapping. And that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now that's not an exact because I did have it spread out there a little bit. So you can do it that way, and then you can, and as you wrap, you count. And then you'll know how many stitches you have. Try to wrap them fairly close together. Then you'll have enough yarn to do whatever. But for today, I'm just going to pull out some. And to do a long tail cast on, you will take the tail end of your, oh, I'm sorry, I keep getting out of my camera's way there. Maybe I should pull it up a little bit. So you'll take the tail end of your yarn, and this is the part that you want to be, these are going to be your stitches. So you want to make sure you have it long enough. Okay? And then you are going to put the tail over the thumb and the working yarn, which leads off to the, hang on, let me, which leads to the yarn. Now I'm pulling from the middle. There is different points of views on that. Some people pull from the middle, some people pull from the outside. It's whatever you like to do and whatever's easiest. They just actually had the tail of the yarn hanging out the, excuse me, hanging out of the middle of the yarn. Uh, well, it's not a ball or a cake. It's a skein. So, are you ready? I'm sorry, I'm trying to work this out here. So your long tail cast on, you're going to have your working yarn, which you're making your stitches with. Well, half your stitches with. You're going to have that over your thumb. You're going to grasp that with your other 3 fingers, and the working yarn is over your index finger. Okay? Now, I'm using a size 8 and a worsted weight 4. And that's what I suggest that you work with. If you want to work with something heavier and bigger, that's fine. a 5, you might want to use a size 10 or bigger needle. A size 6 yarn, bulkies. 5, 6, and up are bulkies and extra bulkies. And then you have your blanket yarns. So you want to use the recommended needle size, and maybe I should do that in my next videos if I haven't done it in a previous video. But you can read your label and it'll tell you what size the yarn is and what needle is recommended with it. Now, if you are new to knitting, you might be a tight knitter. If you've been at knitting for a while, you might be a loose knitter. Some people are tight knitters, some people are loose knitters, some people are right on the money. So if you're a loose knitter, you want to go down in needle size to get your gauge, if it requires a gauge. If you're a tight knitter, you want to go up in needle size to get gauge. So we're going to start. This is just a learn to do your long tail cast on. And I am going to hopefully just show you how to do this. So you're going to take your needle. Now I'm using a circular needle, so you'll see the other end dangling around, and that's okay. I like my circular needles better than I do a straight needle, because straight needles get lost and fall and poke and everything else. Alright, so you'll have your yarn facing you like it is me, and you're going to go between this top yarn that's over your thumb and over your index. You're going to go between it and your hand, just like that. Okay, there we go. That's a better angle, isn't it? So that it looks like this. Now, then you're going to come down, and between your thumb and the yarn that comes over your thumb, so that it makes like a V, and you're going to come up. Oops, I lost it. Go come up through there like that. So your needle is pointing up towards your thumbnail. Then you're going to point it to this is my right. Going to take it around because I'm trying to keep my fingers out of the way so you can see. And under, so your needle is resting against your index finger, and up, and now you're coming back over to your thumb, and you're going to come down. Okay? Going to come down through there so that your needle is pointing at your wrist. And you have 2 stitches to begin with. Now, I'm going to say, like I said in my other video, I'm going to repeat it. Some people say you don't count that first stitch. I say, why not? I've never had a problem with using it as a stitch. So, go ahead and use it as a stitch. This is a stretchy cast on, which is great for the items that need to be stretchy, such as your sweaters. It also doesn't take as long once you learn it, so it's great for those projects that have to have a lot of stitches. So sweaters, socks, baby items that need to be stretchy, hats, booties, all those good things. So now you've done that. Now, you see, you don't have that one strand that's across there. It is one strand, but it's divided up in 2. So now you're going to come down. You're going to come over to your thumb. Go up through your thumb. Go over to your index finger and over top. Wrap your needle around. Come up. Go back down through the thumb. And there you go. You got 3 stitches now. So I'm going to go over the first step again, and that way you can see that again, because that's the hardest part. And then we'll practice with the other stitch again. So you have your stitches. You have your yarn, the tail of the yarn, which is the part that has the tail on it, over your thumb. And then you have your working yarn over your index finger. Okay, and then you're just going to get a hold of those, and you want to make sure that the yarn that's over your index and over your thumb has got a little bit of tension to it, not a lot. Okay, and the working yarn is coming down through your hand, but you've got your 3 fingers over both the tail and the working. Okay, and with the yarn facing you, you're going to go, and I'm going to try and get this out of my way. So this is a little awkward for me. You want to be holding your needle how you hold your needle. Okay, so go down like you're going into your fingers there, but not quite. You want to be on the outside of it. And you're going to pull that yarn, the top yarn, out a little bit, and then you're going to come up through the thumb, the yarn that's wrapped around the front, or the part of the thumb that's facing you. Go over the top and over the top of the yarn that's on your index finger, and then underneath it, getting a hold of it, and then you're going to come back through your thumb, going downward instead of upward. So there you go. You've got that twice. Now you can watch that a couple of times if you need to. And we're going to go ahead and cast on some stitches now. So you've got your yarn. It looks like this. Okay. And you're going to bring your needle, instead of having to come down this way, you're going to come over to your thumb and over the top of that string that goes down through your palm and through, the 2 or 3 fingers that are there. And you're going to come up through the thumb yarn, Please don't put it through your thumb. And then you're going to come over top toward your index finger, and you are going to come underneath that yarn, pick it up, and then come back down through your thumb, and there's your 3rd stitch. And once you get used to doing it, you won't have to stop and pull it to make it to give it a little bit of tightness. You don't want it too tight, but you want it, you don't want it too tight. You just want it on there. You don't want it too loose either. I'd say snug it up a little bit. So now you've got that, then you just do it again. You come over that way, and then up through, come over top to your index, and then underneath that working yarn, and back through the thumb yarn. Now if you're just beginning, you may be dropping it every time and picking it back up. I'm trying to show you so you don't have to do that. So now I've got 4 stitches. So you make your V like a slingshot. There we go. Like a slingshot. If you've ever seen a slingshot or used one, then but instead of, slinging something at somebody, peas at your kids' or grandkids while they stand in a corner. I used to tell my son that all the time. I was going to stand him in a corner and put peas in a slingshot and feed him that way. He would laugh at me. So you're going to pull it out. You've got your V. You're going to come down underneath where the yarn around the thumb is, and up and over point towards your index over top of that yarn there, and then go underneath, pick it up, and then come back towards your thumb and go through that loop and pull that yarn. So that is one of your stretchy casts on. And when you get done, when you get enough on there, you're ready to start knitting. That's not this video though. So I'll do this a couple more times just so you can follow along, and it's got a little something more to it here. So you get your V underneath the thumb yarn, over top of your index finger yarn, and then underneath it, and then down through the thumb loop, and there you go. That is one of the stretchy cast on stitches. So once you get used to doing it, this is how it goes. See, you don't do it that way. Gotta go this way. And it gets pretty easy once you learn how to do it. So I'm just doing it. I know I went a little fast a few times, but you can back it up, watch it again. And that's this video. And I want to say thank you for stopping by and for watching. I hope it helps. I hope you can learn from it. If you have enjoyed and this has made it simple, please like, share, and hit that bell and join my channel. If you hit that bell, you'll get notifications. And if you subscribe to my channel, it will help me out a whole lot. Once I hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. So, again, please like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell. And may God bless you. And remember, you are loved. If you need someone to talk to, you can contact me here on Facebook or on Facebook or here. And I have 2 ears. I'm willing to listen. I've got dry shoulders and dry pockets, and I may cry with you. Sending you hugs and love for a great day.